Hey y'all, welcome back to Standing with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is Collective Coffee. So I just noticed or saw that the United States has once again voted no on any sort of ceasefire for Palestine. And again, they were one of the only, I think I saw 15 voted, 13 voted yes, ceasefire in the United States. I didn't see who the other country was. Probably Israel. That would make sense. But I don't know. I don't know that part. Anyway, so the United States has now voted against a ceasefire twice. We know that the United States is funding, everything that Israel is using. And we know that Joe Biden is a raging Zionist. And we know about AIPAC, and we know about ALEC, and we know about Project 2025, and we know about Congo and Sudan, and we know about the canal, and we know about the oil, and we know everything. And we know that every single day, thousands of people are being killed in Gaza and all over the world. And I'm not seeing a lot. So I want to remind everyone about the American consciousness, which I'm very proud of a lot of Americans, because the endurance during the Palestine genocide has been quite un-American. Usually there's about 72 hours of American consciousness where people are all on the same page about one thing. And literally, it's only about 72 hours, and then it's on to the next. So for those that are feeling exhausted or tired, I want to remind you that there's still work to do, because the ceasefire is still not happening. I know that it is really intense. As a mother, it's the hardest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's insane. I also want to say, I made a video about supremacy and elitism right before this happened, back in September. And the video wasn't the best. I was kind of just rambling about the chosen ones, because that's a term that spiritual people use. And I was warning folks, or cautioning folks, about having this idea of you being on a different moral higher ground, right? Especially within spirituality. It's just a recipe for supremacy, which is exactly what we're seeing. However, I also want to say is that, I posted this on my Instagram today, and I just don't think that, even God is being scapegoated here. Right? These folks are evil. Evil is live spelled backwards. No God. And, I know the God in the Bible and other shit, was a horrible person. But anyway, remember that these texts are written by humans, okay? And we've talked about this. Dogon talked about this on Pass the Mic. It's the only Pass the Mic episode we have. Scroll down. Niall, please stop. Thank you. But anyway, I'm just kind of I just don't... I'm genuinely concerned about humanity. I mean, it just feels like I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to see that this has gone on so long. It's crazy to see that Yemen, the only Arab nation doing the groundwork, field work to support Palestine. That's not true. Hezbollah is defending their own and doing some stuff too. But Yemen is now being kicked out of the World Food Program that the UN does. And so I want us to really think about these contradictions, because the UN just came out, some guy at the UN the other day, the chief of something, just enacted Title 99, I guess, or Article 99, something 99, which is what proposed this meeting today that the United States voted no on. So while the UN called for this meeting, they were also within the same day sanctioning Yemen and removing them from the World Food Program that over 17 million people in Yemen rely on. So they're using collective punishment, which was a big trigger word in the beginning of all of this, but it remains true. Collective punishment is when you're doing too fucking much, okay? You're affecting people, and I mean everybody under these systems has a different level of collective punishment. I mean, all of us, you know, if you step your foot out of line for anything, you get punished. It's just the way it is. This is the carceral system. But I think one thing I really just want to, I don't know. I got some new cards. I'm going to try and start doing the daily decolonizing on TikTok. I don't feel like I'm doing enough, but I also feel like at this point, what we have done has done nothing. What do we do? How do we stop this? Nobody is listening to. I mean, there's polls that have come out in the past few weeks where a majority of Americans who were polled are wanting a ceasefire, both Republican and Democrat. We're getting more cities, I guess, to sign on, but like the red tape is just everywhere. It's more like a web, you know, like we're stuck, you know, we can't really move out of these systems. So something that's been helping me for that has really been this community art space. I encourage all of you, if you have any capacity to build community in any sort of way, I think that, like, just as a human collective, that's something that we can learn from Palestine, especially folks who have been individualized, right? And especially folks that aren't oppressed and wanting to do what's necessary here. And I just say build locally, network globally all the time, right? And I have to repeat this to myself all the time too, because it's just like, you know, and the social media platforms have gotten really, really hard to navigate with the Palestine stuff. I was able to do so much in the beginning that I'm not able to do anymore. And it's, you know, there's laws now, and I just, I'm not afraid of breaking a law that they just put in writing because they want to create a genocide. Like, I think we need to remember in these times, because at times we can get scared or fearful. But I want to remind you that we are not experiencing what Palestine is experiencing. And I want you to continue to prepare your families and yourselves, especially through winter. And also, because we're not experiencing genocide, it's important that we speak up for those that are. I don't know, man. I really feel like we're at this, like, it's gonna take a fucking miracle, like alien, kind of like universal miracle. Because I don't know. I don't know. I can't. It's so hard to watch. And I'm following like a lot of folks because it's basically the only thing I'm seeing when I open up my social media, because I've tailored my social media to be like that. But it's incredibly disheartening, and I just cannot wrap my head around, I shared this on my Instagram today too, like the photos that came out yesterday from North Gaza where IOF like rounded up innocent civilians, and they were men, and they made them strip down to their underwear, and then they had them like in the back of pickup trucks, and then they took them to like the middle of the desert, and all of this is being shown in real time, and people were contrasting it with photos of Nazi Germany, and I just cannot wrap my fucking head around how the Zionist project has successfully taken the victim and turn them into this monster, right? The ideology. I mean, there's tons of Jewish folks that are not for this. Holocaust survivors, family of Holocaust survivors are all like, me, stop, please, don't do this in our name. And so I just think I cannot wrap my head around how people are, I guess, jumping on the anti-Semitism equals anti-Zionism bandwagon, which is the law that the United States just passed, which is so dangerous. It's so dangerous, right? It's a very dangerous thing to make a law, right? That is First Amendment all day long, all day long. So for the folks that are all like, oh my God, we have to vote for Joe Biden again. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? New. And I'm not saying vote for Trump either. That's the thing. There's more ways to get us out of this. I want to tell you about Claudia and Karina, I think are their names. They are two women who are activists, who are socially aware, who are women of color, who are running on a socialist third-party platform for president and vice president. I don't usually vote in presidential elections, but I will be registering so I can vote for them. Because they are our only hope. No one else who is standing behind a podium at this point. And also, if you want to run for anything, there's this, what is it called? The Olive Grove Project, I believe, on TikTok is being organized, and they're doing really great work to list all of the politicians that are running next year and how much money they're getting from AIPAC. That's the Inside Israeli Lobby. I talked about that on the other Daily Decolonizing the other day, Follow the Money. And so they're working on a database so that people can be informed about voting. But also, all of the Congress seats are up for, like, all 400, however many there are, 425 or something. All of them are available for new people next year. So, if you, like me, have ever laid in your bed looking at a genocide live on your phone thinking, what the fuck, I should run for president. I'm not. There's people that have stepped up to take that, and I will be voting for them. I also don't particularly think that I'm the person for a government position. But anyone watching this who feels that due diligence, that need to do something, you only have to be 25 and like a resident of the country for like 7 years to run for Congress. I believe it's Congress. I don't know. To me, the systems are, I've exited. But anyway, so all of that. My God. Our friends in Palestine who are in their young early 20s have gray hair. When I was in my young early 20s, I was getting fucked up. My nickname was Smashley. And then I ended up in a mental institution. All that to say is that these kids do not deserve this. These are kids. What were you doing in your young 20s? Would you have been able to handle this? And if you're a parent now, what the fuck would you do? What the fuck would you do? Something? Probably? Anything? Like, use empathy, that's when you put yourself in other people's shoes, to really do some inner work to figure out what you can do to make this world not a fucking raging dumpster fire. Like I said, for us, we're really building locally, in this open art space, and it feels really good to be doing something to support people, you know? So those are my recommendations. I don't know. I can't take it anymore. And I can't get on here and talk about stupid shit while this is happening. So this is what you get. And I know my views are way down. I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to be doing the daily decolonizing shorts on TikTok. If you want to go over there, I'll still post some here, but I don't know, because I'm just sitting in here looking and like being like, what do we need? You know, what do we need? Kind of doing a SWOT in my head. SWOT is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I think threats, I don't know. It's an organizing model. Anyway, so I'm sitting here kind of thinking, like, as a collective, what do we need? What can we do? And I'm only one person, but I hope this finds people who need it. We don't get to be sad and depressed. We don't get to center ourselves. And we have to keep doing whatever we can to really be the change we want to see. You know, prophets, gurus, leaders, activists have said these things. You know, I'm doing a Ancestor Speak project on my Future for All Instagram. I haven't done very much. I should do that. I can commit to doing that. I'm just compiling, like I said, prophets, musicians, artists, activists, things from the past who have all been through this struggle, who have given us books and interviews and quotes and all of that, you know, ancestors speak, or comrades speak, if they're still here on this planet. And I can post more of those on my other Instagram, my Future for All Instagram. But I don't know. Continue to engage with stuff, because it's gotten really, really hard to share on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of them. I haven't tried to share anything on Facebook. That's not what I use Facebook for. But yeah. Also, if you don't think, like, we're at this point where, like, this man has not been stopped, and I'm talking about Netanyahu, and of course I know it's not just him, but, like, if they have not been stopped at this point, this isn't going to end anytime soon, and shit is, we're in World War III. I need you guys to realize that. Like, this is World War III. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. I still haven't drank coffee. That's probably why I haven't been doing a lot of collective coffees. But I have crazies. So, just do what you can. Just do what you can. And if it's not enough, keep doing what you can. Just do what you can. Take care of yourselves, but also, this is crazy. It's crazy that this is continuing. All right, have a good one.